Previously on Ace Attorney. A fishy smelling calendar has something to do with your secret, doesn't it, Pearls? I can't lie to you, Mr. Nick. Guess it's my own fault for charging up your Unca Crunk so you can actually do this nonsense again. You're supposed to use it on criminals and witnesses and stuff, not me. Hello, I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Ace Attorney. And we are embroiled in the strangest case in Ace Attorney history, I do believe. Good morning, Mr. Wright.
Good morning. Chipper as ever this morning, I see.
I'm just thankful we actually get to have a trial for Orla. As a matter of fact, I just ran a few laps around the courthouse to get extra pumped.
And I just splashed my face with some water to get the sleep out of my eyes.
Oh, I also queued the swashbuckler video so we can watch it anytime.
I'm probably good. But thanks. It just might help our case. By the way, you have some serious dark circles. Did you stay up late watching this?
What? Me? No, I just woke up early, that's all. I guess I need to cover them up. I get ragged on enough as it is by Prosecutor Blackwell.
Speaking of being pumped, I'm pretty fired up for this trial, too. It's been a while.
That explains why your hair is spikier than usual. I mean, look at it. It's all super pokey and prickly and stuff. It's amazing.
Was a compliment, right?
Good luck, Mr. Nick. I'll be cheering you on from the gallery.
Thanks, Pearls. It's been so long, I'm actually a little nervous.
Morning, Mr. Lawyer. Oh, Mr. Rhymes, you came to watch the trial?
Yeah. Sasha's back at the aquarium with the orca. So I thought I'd better come here to watch for her.
Oh, don't you worry, we're gonna win for Orla. Isn't that right, boss?
Right. One unprecedented trial coming right up.
Okay. July 21st, 9:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Day 1, court is now in session. All rise.
Court is now in session for the trial of Orla Shipley. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Must we waste words on this? Prosecutor Simon Blackwell, known as the Twisted Samurai, he's a prosecutor who's also a convicted felon. Not entirely sure how that works, but they say he never conducts a trial without his loyal Hulk Taka by his side. Not sure how that works either.
And I just noticed that Taka's wearing prison stripes as a little scarf or kerchief, I suppose it actually is.
Mr. Wright, it's been quite a while since I've seen you like that. The lawyer image suits you. You look younger somehow. Thank you, Your Honor. And you look as young as ever yourself. Well, I have to keep up with you folks after all. By the way, has the defendant arrived in court yet? Surely you jest, Your Bonus. Did you not receive the memo? The defendant, or Shipley, is an orca at Shipshape Aquarium. An orca? Arrangements for this trial were made only yesterday, so I didn't have time to review. But an orca as a defendant is patently absurd. Direct your comments to the defense. He's the absurd fellow who insisted on defending the orca in court in the first place. Absurd or not, I will carry out my duty to defend my client. Your duty to define your crying aunt? Don't you mean your crying orca, Mr. Wright? If we are to proceed, we must treat the orca as we would any other defendant. Every soul, be it of man or beast, is of equal value. The question is whether that soul is painted in black or white. Take Taka, for example. He is as human in spirit as you or I. The real question is, am I in for more pain, as always? Orca or not, I suppose the defendant is still a defendant. And I vow to render my verdict fairly and impartially. Now then, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would. I suppose I can hardly leave it to someone who knew nothing of the defendant. Very well. Listen carefully. The orca murdered the owner of Ship-Shape Aquarium in the aquarium's orca pool. The orca apparently toyed with the victim mercilessly as he died. A sadistic orca. What a chilling thought. And where exactly is this defendant now? Inside this. A cell phone, Prosecutor Blackwell? Time marches on, your boldness, with or without us. I borrowed this TV phone from the aquarium, which will allow us to interact with the orca. A TV phone? Very well. The court accepts it into evidence.
When did this game come out again? Okay. This model can connect to TVs and be used to conduct teleconferencing. We will be able to view the defendant in question on this large monitor. Phoenix Wright, prepare for transmission. You've got it, Prosecutor Blackwell. We will proceed with the defendant on telecast.
So that is the orca that stands accused, is it?
Oh,
She's waving her flipper at us. Maybe she's cheering us on.
Orla, wish Phoenix and Athena luck. Oh.
Oh, it's quite cute, isn't it? And this adorable creature is suspected of killing a man?
Orla's really pouring on the charm, huh?
She is far from cute. She is a violent, reckless animal.
That's right. My name's Bobby Fulbright, and I'll take over the explaining from here. Now, if I could direct your attention to this diagram of the crime scene. Following the report of an orca attack, we, the police, raced over to Ship-Shape Aquarium. There, we found a guest who says she saw the orca and the victim from the visitors' corridor. As the witness was watching, the orca suddenly went crazy and attacked the victim. The orca was the only one there, therefore, no one else could have committed the crime. It's not quite finished, but I have a portion of the autopsy report here. Okay. Instant death from a brain contusion. There are signs of blunt force trauma all over the body. Blunt force trauma.
I can't imagine the terror of being attacked underwater by such a large creature. But attack it did. Prepare yourself for the grisly details, your boldness. The prosecution moves to introduce our witness. Fulbright.
You got it, Prosecutor Blackwell. In justice we trust. One brave lady who's fine since the justice compelled her to speak coming right up. How dare you make me wait? Don't you know I'm a busy woman? I could have written an entire book for all the time I spent in that lobby.
Oh, why didn't you? Forget your notepad? Prosecutor Blackwell? Well...
I am Norma DePlume, and I'm a non-fiction writer.
Am I the only one here who isn't telepathic?
Well, looks like she can read into people's words just as well as I can read into people's hearts.
Not everything needs to be a competition, Athena. What? Norma DePlume? The great non-fiction writer, Ms. Norma DePlume herself? I've read all of your works and enjoyed them immensely. Your million seller, The Great Grief of the Great Thief, is one of my favorites.
Oh, are you a fan, Your Honor? I could give you my autograph if you like.
Wait a second. Could swear you looked much different in the photos in your book.
Well, I used ones from 10 years ago in my books so that the paparazzi won't harass me. The judge seems so shocked.
The visual disconnect must really be doing a number on his honor's head.
Could we get started, please? If I find you to be lacking as a judge, you will see your debut in my books.
Such harsh comments! You really must be the real Norma de Plume.
Who knew Ms. de Plume was so famous?
Enough jabbering. Tell the court what you saw and keep it brief.
I would thank you not to order me around. I am perfectly willing to tell everyone what I witnessed. It was the moment of the murder.
Very well then, please proceed with your testimony.
Witness testimony. The moment of the murder. I went to Shipshape Aquarium to see the killer whale. As I was watching the killer whale from the visitors corridor, it suddenly went crazy. I saw the killer whale bite the victim to death with his huge mouth and deadly teeth. Attempting to remain calm, I reported the incident to the police immediately.
That adorable defendant really did all that? It must be much more vicious than it looks. Now deliver your judgment so that I may carry out the sentence.
Objection!
The defense would like to do some defending first, if that's all right. Must you drag this out with your tomfoolery?
Hold it!
The defense always has the right to cross-examine the witness, you know. And it's not tomfoolery, it's Phoenix foolery.
Athena, you're not helping. A fellow inmate just told me this morning, if you want something signed, all you need is the document and a witness. Let me guess. They were convicted for contract fraud, right? All we need in this case is the evidence and a witness to convict. It's as simple as that. It looks like I guessed right. Sorry, but as Miss Sykes said, the defense has every right to cross-examine. Isn't that right, Your Honor? Yes, of course. You may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. I shall relish the sight of you thrashing around in vain.
Cross-examination, start. I went to Shipshape Aquarium to see the killer whale.
Hold it!
Why did you want to see the orca?
Well, it is the featured attraction of the aquarium after all.
Why waste energy on such tripe? There's but one attraction in Shipshape Aquarium that is worth anyone's time, and that is the penguins. Isn't that right, Taka, my friend? Alrighty then, I guess Prosecutor Blackwell is for the birds.
I guess I should jot that down. Note to self, Prosecutor Blackwell is on Team Rifle.
And so you went to see the orca in its tank?
Yes, that's right. As I was watching the killer whale from the visitors corridor, it suddenly went crazy.
Hold it!
The orca suddenly went crazy, did she?
Yes, it took a look at me and then all at once it started going berserk.
Gee, I wonder why. Did you do anything to make her angry?
I did nothing more than simply glare at it from the visitors corridor.
She glared at Orla. And that's what caused her to go berserk.
Objection!
The reason the defendant went mad is not the issue here. Only what she did once she entered that state.
In any case, the killer whale began behaving wildly in front of my very eyes, and then I saw the killer whale bite the victim to death with his huge mouth and deadly teeth.
Hold it!
So you're saying you saw the very moment of the victim's death?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Oh, it was simply dreadful. It was as frightening as losing one's manuscript just before a deadline.
I suppose for a writer, that would be pretty terrifying.
I witnessed the killer whale's horrific act, and I knew I had to do something, so... Attempting to remain calm, I reported the incident to the police immediately.
Hold it!
Why were the police the first ones you contacted?
I was afraid that if I told the aquarium staff, they might try to cover it up. Of course, I immediately told aquarium security after my call to the police. I believe I deserve praise for my swift decision-making skills under pressure.
Mr. Plume is the most assertive witness I've ever seen.
We'd better do our best to look like big shot lawyers if we want to match our intensity.
Mr. Plume, I praise your swift decision-making skills under pressure.
That was more kiss up than big shot.
I suppose it was unrealistic to expect big shot from Mr. Wright. How fitting for a small fry to praise a big shot. How about cutting the small fry from some slack, you big meanies? The important thing here is, did she really see the moment of the murder?
You're raring to go, aren't you, Mr. Wright? I see it in your eyes and in your heart.
I guess I really am a lawyer at heart. Oh, we're back to the beginning? All right. Here. There it is.
Objection!
It would seem that you were mistaken, Mr. Plume.
I beg your pardon?
The autopsy report does indeed say death thought to be the result of Orca attack. But the actual cause of death is contusion from head trauma, not being bitten.
What? But, I'm sure the victim was bitten.
I don't believe that can be true. The security footage doesn't show anything of the kind.
Objection!
Just as I suspected. I knew you would peek at the footage behind Fool Bright's back. Well, what do you expect when he wouldn't play nice and share? But unfortunately for you, the footage you saw was only one small part. Yesterday, after I decided to take this case to trial, I re-reviewed all of the evidence.
Updated security footage.
Taka, the evidence I gave to you for safekeeping. I guess that Hawk is higher up on the pecking order than Fulbright and Blackwell's book. Very well. Let's view the footage. Ow. Of course. Oh, what's this? The orca's biting the victim.
No, she's just... She's probably grabbing him to take him back up to the surface after he fell into the pool. No way!
I have to say this appears to be very damning evidence.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
No, I can't believe Orla really bit him.
And there's more. Look at this.
Huh?
This photograph was taken while the body was being examined. There seems to be a strange bruise on the victim's right wrist. I'll let the crime lab examine the bruise and calculate its relevance to the case at hand. But what's important right now is the evidence that points to the orca as the killer. Look at the left side of the body. See the orca's tooth marks in the victim's clothes? Yes, they do appear to suggest that she did, in fact, bite the victim.
Yeah, not what it looks like. I told you so. And then the killer whale swam up toward the surface with the victim in its mouth.
Objection!
However, in the autopsy report, the cause of death is contusion from head trauma.
Objection!
You are much too impetuous, right, Donald? Granted, the orca biting the victim was not the cause of death. The witness was mistaken about that. Then what explanation is there for what the witness saw? Did I not say in the beginning, the orca toyed with the victim mercilessly? My goodness! After killing the victim, the defendant swam around with his dead body in her mouth. Just like any other predator toying with its prey.
Mr. Wright, the hearts of the people in the gallery are suddenly filled with fear. Fear of Orla.
So the defendant bit the victim after she had killed him. But if that's the case, then we must still figure out how the defendant killed the victim. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have a sound theory to give to this court? I wouldn't be standing here if I couldn't prove whether the orca's heart was black or white.
Orla is black and white. Her body, I mean.
Athena, please try not to provoke Prosecutor Blackwell. This witness also observed the actual moment of the murder. Think backward, mistress. Think back to what you observed before the orca bit the victim.
Ah, I see what you're driving at. So that was the true moment of the murder, was it?
Now explain it in a way that even these simpletons can understand.
There you go again, ordering me around. Stop that this instant. But whatever. I don't mind telling my story. I saw the killer whale before it toyed with the body as well. I saw it the moment it killed the victim by headbutting him.
Press X to doubt. Orla killed the victim by headbutting him?
That's right. It rammed the victim over and over again.
Recall that the autopsy report stated that there were bruises all over his body. Recall as well how persistent the defendant can be when she's attacking her prey.
And we all just saw the killer whale headbutting the victim in the footage, don't forget.
That footage backs up Mr. Plume's testimony. There's also something very important it does not show.
Now do you see what a menace this killer whale is?
Objection!
I'm sorry, but I can't allow your testimony to stand unchallenged. Looking at this footage, the orca certainly seems to be headbutting something. But you'll note that the something is not the victim.
No. What?
I want to look away, but I can't.
Phoenix, you okay?
I just saw something I never need to see again.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen again, though, every time she gets surprised by something.
Please don't say that, Athena.
Sorry. Come on, snap out of it.
Right. Even if it was the victim, you couldn't have seen him from where you were, could you?
What? Well, I suppose not.
Ms. DePlume, did you actually witness the victim getting headbutted by the defendant?
Let's see. I remember now. As I recall, a rock in the shape of a skull was obstructing my view.
So are you admitting that you couldn't see the victim?
Yes, I suppose I am. However, immediately after the headbutting, the victim came floating up. He came up from behind the skull-shaped rock, and his body was all limp. What else could I think except that the killer whale was headbutting the victim?
Objection!
But if you didn't actually see the moment of the attack itself, then it's pure conjecture.
Objection!
Must I do everything around here?
How dare you speak so rudely to me?
There's no need for hysterics. Clear your mind and recall how you reached your conclusion. Though you couldn't see what the orca was attacking, you didn't need to, did you? Well, hint, hint. Because you knew she was behaving exactly as she had only 1 year prior.
Oh,
1 year ago.
that's right. Yes, that's it. That's how I knew the killer whale was headbutting the victim.
I'm sorry, but could someone explain exactly what happened a year ago? If you must know, a very similar incident occurred only last year in which the defendant murdered her trainer. What? The orca murdered her trainer, you say? What? Is this really true? This is not looking good for us. It's all in this book. Written by Norman de Plume, of course. The book! The Killer Whale! That's Mr. Plume's latest work. I was just thinking of picking that up the next time I'm in an airport. For some reason or another, I never see her books anywhere else.
Okay.
Last year, the defendant killed her trainer in the middle of a show. The orca headbutted and bit the victim. The same thing she's accused of in this case.
That orca killed 2 people.
That thing's a menace. Guilty, guilty, I say.
I never want to go to the beach again. No, now everyone's even more convinced that Orla did it.
We were doing so well, but now everyone in the room has a bad impression of Orla. Don't want to think she did it. But it's hard to keep on believing in somebody who can't even tell me her side.
Phoenix, Athena, you gotta believe in Orla. There's no way she killed anybody. You gotta save her, please. I'm begging you.
Sasha, what am I doing downing my client like this? This is the time to be strong.
I believe in Orla, and I'm ready to fight for our clients. I'll take everybody in this courtroom on if I have to.
Don't you worry, Sasha. We won't give up on Orla. We'll defend her to the very end.
Thank you, both of you.
We are Orla's lawyers. Who else but us can save her? We can't give up on her now. For an instant there, you were afraid of the orca, weren't you, right, Donald? When you saw the photograph of the victim from a year ago, you turned paler than me. He saw right through me. It's obvious you have neither the guts nor the determination to defend the orca. It's true that Orla can't speak, and I don't know her thoughts. But there's a certain someone who believes in Orla with all of her heart. I respect the trust she has in Orla, so I'm willing to believe in Orla too. And what do you know about orcas? Nothing. That's what. So allow me to fill you in. Do you have any idea why orcas are also called killer whales? Because they are cunning and merciless predators that hunt and kill even true whales. So killer whales really are killers. Ugh, what terrifying creatures indeed. I can't bear to hear any more of such rubbish as trusting a killer. Can you, your baldness?
I knew this would come up.
No matter what you say, I will continue to believe. I don't give up that easily, you know. Dullard, you don't know when to give up, do you? Very well, I shall give you a chance to prove just how determined you are. Witness, spare no quarter and lay the full truth on them.
But of course, that's what I do after all.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what will you have the witness testify about? I shall have her testify about what she saw and what she heard. What she heard? Very well. Mr. Flume, please tell the court what you saw and what you heard.
Witness testimony. What I saw and what I heard. The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt, but when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream.
So the orca displayed the same behavior as during the incident a year ago.
That's right. Those weren't just simple cries, it was singing. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. He kept headbutting while it sang the swashbuckler spectacular song. That's right, it was singing the same song it sang in the aquarium stage show back then. It was singing while it was headbutting. Oh, it was perfectly horrible.
I see a single obvious inconsistency in this testimony. It's clear that I won't be able to take apart her statements with evidence alone.
That's right. Now would be a good time for me to put my skills to work. It's time to show what analytical psychology can really do.
You seem pretty confident. Let me guess. You noticed a contradiction between the testimony and her emotions?
You bet I did. And once we expose it, we just might be able to crack her. No, scratch that. Make it, we'll definitely be able to.
Then let's give your knowledge of analytical psychology a try.
You got it, boss. A complete analysis of Mr. Plume's heart coming right up.
Here we go.
The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt, but when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream. You see any emotions that seem odd or out of place? Pay attention to not only which emotions you see, but how strong they are too. An emotion might suddenly get stronger, for example, or you might see it grow weaker.
Okay. Let me listen to her testimony again. All right. So, fear, I think. Then sadness. Then the sadness goes down. Okay, maybe this one.
Got it!
Mr. Plume, Orla really frightened you with her headbutting, didn't she?
Don't be absurd. I certainly was not frightened by the likes of any killer whale. It must have been something else that scared her then, boss.
Oh. Blue is fear? Oh, blue is sadness.
However, I do remember being very afraid for some reason while I was doing that. Sounds like maybe you saw something we haven't discussed yet. Take your time and try to remember what it was. What did you see?
This is practically turning into a counseling session.
I saw something?
Wait, did I pick the right one after all?
Oh, I remember now.
Oh, I guess I did pick the right one. Okay.
Okay, good. Now, if you could please tell the court what you saw. I saw bright red blood. The killer whale's ramming caused the victim to bleed. There was a great cloud of blood.
What?
Yes, that's it. That's why I was so sure. That's when I knew that killer whale had killed a person for a second time.
Well, that was a very compelling statement indeed. Looking at this again, there does appear to be something that could be a cloud of blood. So her terror was a reaction to blood, was it? That would certainly explain what happened yesterday. Please take a look at this bloodstained coin.
Eek! Cease and desist at once. What kind of man shows a lady blood?
She doesn't have to get so worked up.
I was badly injured during an interview once. Ever since then, I've been terrified of blood. The very sight of it dreadfully upsets my delicate sensibilities.
This is a bad turn. If Mr. Plume saw blood, then does that mean Orla really did attack the victim? It would appear that Orca's even more vicious than I am. So, how does it feel to be thoroughly rammed by your own cross-examination, right, Dono?
What do we do now, boss?
That testimony was not at all what I expected to hear.
Wait a minute. There's still some discord left in Mr. Plume's heart.
What? You mean there's more?
Yes, but there's no telling what it is. It could be something even more damaging.
Is there even anything left of our case to damage? Oh, whatever it is, we have to face it head on. Athena, you believe in Orla, right? If so, there's no reason for us to shy away from the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
I know we can handle the truth, whatever it is, so let's delve a little deeper.
You've got it, boss.
Okay.
The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago.
Oh, okay.
As I approached the pool, killer whale suddenly started singing.
Okay, info update.
After it started headbutting, I saw that awful blood and was terrified. But when the pirate head and victim came floating up, I let out a scream.
Okay, the fear went down here?
Got it!
Huh? Her fear appears to lessen here at this statement. Mr. Plume, weren't you afraid when you saw the victim with the blood coming out of him?
My, that's a very good question. I was shaken after witnessing a murder, yes, but then the blood seemed to disappear.
Disappear? And why do you suppose that was?
Simple. It was because of the pirate hat.
What?
After the killer whale put the hat on, the cloud of blood disappeared.
Objection!
What? And how exactly does that work?
How should I know? I'm just telling you what I remember, Blue Boy.
Wait a minute. From whom was this blood that Mr. Plume saw actually coming from?
Wait.
Really?
Does that make sense? Was she wounded and putting the hat on covered up the blood?
Take that!
Okay, consider this. Maybe the one who was bleeding wasn't the victim.
I beg your pardon. What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? There was no one else in that pool besides the victim.
Oh, I wouldn't say there was no one else. It is an orca pool, after all. What? Then where is this alleged injury on the defendant? I'm not sure, but if simply wearing the pirate hat made the blood disappear, then the blood must have been coming from somewhere on Orla's head.
What? You okay, boss?
Yeah, sure. The orca's head? What are you prattling on about now?
Please think about it again, Mr. Plume. Think back to what you really saw. That is... The one who was bleeding was not the victim, but the killer whale? I remember now, there wasn't any blood coming from the victim after all.
Okay. She seems to be telling what she thinks is the truth. So she's not actually trying to set Orla up. Huh. Not entirely what I was expecting.
We did it! Analytical psychology got us what we needed from her.
That was a huge help, Athena. It's also pretty dicey for a while, though. Well, this is a surprise. The blood the witness saw was the defendant's, not the victim's. That is correct. And since there was no blood coming from the victim, there's only one thing we can conclude. That what Mr. Plume witnessed was not the moment of the murder as she claims.
Objection!
Oh, now what? I thought you were unarmed, but it turns out you were concealing a sword all along. Nevertheless, it is far too dull to cut to the bone. Meaning... I grant that what the witness saw was not the victim's blood, but it proves nothing. After all, being rammed doesn't always result in a wound that bleeds, does it? Death from internal hemorrhaging is also a possibility. He has a point there. If you wish to challenge me to a duel, you'll need a sharper blade than that, right, Dono? I demand evidence that proves the witness did not see the moment of the murder. There must be something. Think, Phoenix. If I'm correct, then the victim's death occurred before DePlume saw it. If the victim was already dead when Orla started her headbutting, then that would mean he died sometime before Ms. DePlume was watching her. The events Ms. DePlume witnessed took place at around 10:10 a.m. I must have something that can tell us about what happened before 10:10 a.m. What? The calendar? Okay, meet the captain of the at the Orca pool at 7 a.m. Crap, is that it? It has to be, right? Let's see, is there anything else? I think it must be that.
Take that!
Well, let's try it. Nope. This is the evidence that Mr. Plume did not see the moment of the murder.
Huh? I'm not sure that's really related to what Mr. Plume did or didn't witness.
Okay, I think the mention of time confused me. So what we want is the coin. But you're not sure, right? No, we can be quite sure it's unrelated. Yes, quite. All right. Ouch, I guess we can be. The events Mr. Plume... Oh, right, okay. Okay, guess it must be the coin.
Take that!
Nope, that's not it either. Crap.
What am I missing? Okay, what happened before 10:10 a.m.? Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this. Okay, I really don't see how this is any help.
Captain Morla, ye made it just in time. We be pirates, we love to sail the seven seas. Just a bunch of scallywags who are as free can be. We swim through storms and waves, all because you see grand treasure and adventures waiting just for me.
Okay, very cute, but yeah, I don't see how that helps me at all. Okay, further details. Under investigation for the time of death. No details on that. No. Okay, he's already got the rip in his shirt. So no, that doesn't help. Who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the skull rock? Huh. Oh my god. Okay, that's 10:09. That's 10:10. Oh. The footage starts at 10 a.m., but we've only seen from 10:09 and 10:10.
Take that!
Oh my god. Really? We've only seen the footage from 10:09 to 10:10 a.m., which means there's still footage going further back that we need to check. Your Honor, I request that all of the security footage be played for the court.
All of the footage? Who would even think of doing such a thing? Why would we want to see all of the evidence before we start the trial?
We're halfway through the trial, Your Honor.
Well, still, why would we want to see all the evidence? It makes no damn sense.
Mr. Plume witnessed the cloud of blood at around 10:10 a.m. But I believe the victim was already dead by that time.
So your assertion is that the murder took place before Mr. Plume arrived?
Exactly. The security camera footage starts at 10 a.m. when the aquarium opened. And I believe there is vital evidence in the 10 minutes before. You've already seen it, haven't you? You are quite the gambling man, right, Dono? Are you honestly willing to risk everything on those mere 10 minutes? You're bluffing. You know exactly what's on there, and it's bad for your case. Also, I've bet on slimmer chances before, but when he puts it that way...
Hold it!
My boss is no coward, Prosecutor Blackwell, so I suggest you get ready to eat some humble pie. Oh, can't back down now.
Well, if the defense is that confident in its importance, Prosecutor Blackwell, the security footage.
Fulbright. Roger, I have the rest of the security footage right here.
Very well, please play it for the court.
Please, please, please have something for me. This is what it looked like at 10:10 a.m. The witness can be seen here. All right, I'll just back the footage up to the beginning now. Okay, 10:08, 10:06.
It appears Mr. Plume hasn't arrived yet at this point.
Now to see if I can find something from before this point in time. Wait, was the cloud of blood from the actual headbutt? Her headbutting the skull? Did she scratch her head on the skull? Is that it? Yep, that's all the footage there is.
Well, Mr. Wright, did you see what you were looking for?
We got nothing.
Well, right, don't know. Those were the 10 minutes you placed your bet on. Did you see anything of significance?
Did I see anything important? I'd better think about this carefully. In the footage we see... not a damn thing, Your Honor. We can see nothing of importance in that footage.
Just as I thought.
So you weren't bluffing after all. I never bluff. Damn it. You're right about that. That section was completely meaningless. Doesn't show a thing. That's why I didn't submit it as evidence.
Objection!
No, it's just the opposite. Excuse me? Huh? What do you mean by that? In this 10 minutes of footage, something important should be there that isn't there. Detective Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence. What? Are you questioning the way I carry out my duty to justice?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself, please, because I have no idea what's going on. What is this important thing that you say should be in the footage, but isn't?
Is it the body? I think it's the body.
Take that!
The important thing we should see in the footage is the victim himself, Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage. Oh, good point.
Oh.
That's right. If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there by the skull rock during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long. Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying... When the security camera started up at 10 a.m., the victim was already dead. But...
Order in the court. If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered?
Probably around 7 a.m. I don't know, Your Honor, but we now know it had to have been sometime before 10 a.m. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client. But there's no one else who could have killed the victim. Not necessarily. The defense believes that the true culprit may have been human. And we have evidence to back up our theory as well. Do you now? I would be very interested in seeing this evidence. The defense's trump card. That thing we found during our investigation yesterday. My God, Phoenix, you only have to hold my hand. I know it's the coins. Wouldn't go so far as to call it decisive, but now's the time to play it.
Very well, Mr. Wright, please submit your evidence. What evidence shows that the crime may have been committed by a human?
Take that!
What's this? A coin? Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. This coin is quite possibly the real murder weapon. This tiny little coin is the murder weapon. Mr. Wright, if this is another one of your bluffs. As they say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor. This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins in all, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it. Did you have the blood analyzed to see whose it is? Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body, and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coin left by the side of the pool. One of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the victim was killed beside the pool. The side of the pool? But if the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say the orca did it.
I realize you are trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300-pound coins suddenly possibly be made to hit someone all at once?
Have you ever heard of a bag? It'd be pretty easy if they were in a bag or something of that nature. And so where is this bag the coins were in? Unfortunately, Your Honor, we recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them. They took it? Why would someone take a murder weapon away from a murder scene? That's just not fair. It's cheating.
The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit murder. They then threw the body into the pool before the security cameras started up. And then they left, taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Orla. That was brilliant, Mr. Wright. You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator.
Yeah, somehow. Let's hope my luck holds out. I wonder why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything. The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. But if we hold this possibility to be true, then what did Ms. DePlume witness?
That's right. I saw the killer whale attack the victim, just like it did a year ago, singing a song. Guess there still is that. Even with somebody else as the culprit, Orla's behavior still seems pretty bizarre. I wonder why she was doing the same thing she did a year ago.
But is it really that bizarre?
What do you mean?
To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around.
Turn our thinking around, huh? Yeah, sounds good to me.
Time to give the old turn my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Orla did the same thing she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behavior this time around. Orla sang a song, did some headbutts, and bit the victim. If the real culprit wanted to shift the suspicion onto Orla, then they would have needed to give people a reason to think Orla did it in the first place. Mr. Wright, as her lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions? I believe we should think of it in this way, Your Honor. What kind of effect did Orla's actions have on the case? Very well. Then why don't you explain it for the court? How did the defendant's actions affect the case?
They created a witness.
Ms. DePlume focused her attention on the orca pool because she had heard the song. The orca's act of singing a song created a witness. Created a witness? Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intention? After all, Ms. DePlume witnessed two things. She saw Orla headbutt something over and over, and she saw the orca bite the victim. These two actions of Orla's might have been
The real culprits plot to make the witness think the orca was attacking the victim.
Are you saying that the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator?
Exactly. And that would explain Orla's actions perfectly.
But the defendant is an orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her?
Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behavior with this. The whistle!
Take that!
Is this a whistle?
Yes, Your Honor. Trainers at the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. But in truth, anyone can do it provided they know the right signals.
That must be how they get Orla to do tricks for their pirate shows.
The true culprit hid the body in a spot that couldn't be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then when Mr. Plume appeared, they gave Orla the commands. In other words, Orla was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. What? And as for you, Mr. Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness. Norma de Plume, was set up? Norma de Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used? No! Oh dear. Did not need to see that today.
Mr. Plume, please do something about your attire.
That was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see.
It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone or other than Orla. Prosecutor Blackwell, please have the bloodstained coin analyzed.
You waste your breath? I guess even Prosecutor Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss! If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an orca could have done it. Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in.
In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the orca couldn't have done it.
Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Orla's accusation.
Objection!
Oh, he's loose again. Overturn the defendant's accusation? I think not. Ah! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said, the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable.
And what did this man go in for?
He is merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But a right dono here would be easier to hook than any fish. That hawk sure does love the judge's head.
What's this? That coin from before in some sort of bag?
That bastard had it the entire time. The bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is the coin bag the 300 coins are in. I believe you were looking for this. How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab. And does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed, as does the blood on the coin. I knew it. So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim. The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out. But the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and their coin, I am more than satisfied that it was.
Prosecutor Blackwell, are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with the bag of coins? I shall concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact it was the orca that killed the victim. How exactly do you propose to explain that? But how can you still suspect Orla? You said that the true culprit manipulated Orla's behavior. But Orla isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. And how do you know that? If anything, Orla used the victim's behavior against him to murder him. What? But are you arguing that the orca manipulated a human being? To prove it, I have summoned another witness, Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand.
Marlon Rhymes is a witness?
Well, don't just stand there, state your name.
In the next episode, to the outro! Well, that's my volleyball theory done for. So, someone whacked Shipley over the head with the coins, tossed him in the orca pool, then when DePlume showed up, gave Orla a signal to perform a trick that made it look like she killed Shipley. And it's not looking good for Marlon. His own calendar suggests that he met Shipley at 7 a.m. on the day of his death. His only real defense is the lack of motive and the belief that he wouldn't know the signals to give Orla to get her to do her tricks. The whistle can't be heard by humans, so he couldn't have learned it surreptitiously. There's also a lack of motive, but we'll come back to that. Then there's the absent veterinarian, Dr. Crab. Don't actually have any reason to suspect him simply because we don't know anything about him. And then there's the obvious suspect, Sasha. No evidence against her except the fact that she's Orla's trainer. Okay, that's actually very formidable evidence, but I don't think she did it. Why would she hire us to defend Orla if she was the real killer? Orla's guilt was a foregone conclusion. If she did nothing, she'd get away with it. Now we come to the motive and how the killer learned the training signals. The trainer who was killed a year ago. If the killer was related to her in some way, they could have learned the signals from her, and if they believed that Orla killed her and Shipley covered it up, this crime would kill two birds with one stone. So, unless Dr. Crab suddenly appears out of nowhere and is revealed to be the deceased trainer's father, my money's on Marlon Rhymes. Anywho, up here's a playlist of my Persona 3 Portable playthrough, and down here is the video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!